What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Bret on the show. What's up, Bret?
Hey man, how's it going? Glad to be back.
Yeah, going good. Good to have you back on. This is the 2020 New Orleans Saints season preview. After last year going 13-3 and winning the division, the Saints would lose in the wild card round to the Vikings in overtime. On what Saints fans are still upset about that no call push off by Kyle Rudolph, but it is what it is. Very talented roster, 11 Pro Bowlers last year in 2019. Despite losing Drew Brees early in the season, they adjusted with backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater and went 5-0 while Brees was out. Is there anyone? I mean, we have to give Sean Payton his due respect. Is there any coach that you would trust more than Sean Payton to like adjust and get the most out of a backup quarterback getting thrown out there?
I mean, after seeing what he did with Bridgewater, I don't know. I can't disagree with you on that. He's taken a liking to trusting, I think, his players, no matter
Yeah,
who's out there, and letting them do what they do. I mean, they're there for a reason as professionals. So it's hard to keep people limited at that level. And I think Sean Payton does a really good job of connecting with his players and making sure that they know that they're there for a reason and not just because.
yeah, and he puts them in position to succeed. He knows his players and he knows what they're good at, and he adjusts. And that's my biggest criticism has been of Matt Nagy in year two was that he didn't adjust and play to his players' strengths, and that's one of Sean Payton's greatest qualities. You look at the greatest coaches, Bill Belichick as well. These guys always adjust. One week they're running the ball 40 times, and next week they're passing it 40 times. They always adjust and know how to, play to strengths and find weaknesses.
Absolutely. And I think that they exploited that. He exploited that very well last year with having to put Bridgewater in there the way that he did.
Not only Bridgewater, but the success he's gotten out of Taysom Hill. You
That
know,
too, and the way that like the way that they're using him, not
yeah,
just the quarterback. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're using every player that they can to possibly can to give them the best chance and the best benefit there to come out with a W, and it's
yep,
been working.
yeah. It's damn good coaching over there. Um, so I mean, 13-3 could have gone, pretty far. They had the team to go really far. I don't see much of a difference. This year they do lose Teddy Bridgewater. He's now starting for Carolina. Stays in the division, so they're going to see more of him. They lose Eli Apple to the Raiders. Keith Kirkwood to Carolina. Von Bell, Ted Ginn Jr. to the Bears, and AJ Klein. But they add Malcolm Jenkins, Emmanuel Sanders, Jameis Winston, running back Ty Montgomery, um, DJ Swearinger, Benny Fowler, Anthony Chickalo, a lot of pieces, Marcus Hunt. Do you expect any kind of a down, the Saints to have a down year? What's your thoughts on Drew Brees? Are we starting to see the regression of Drew Brees, or do you still think that he's capable of leading this team to the Super Bowl?
I haven't. I mean, Drew Brees hasn't shown me anything that would allow me to, I guess, say confidently that he can't take them
Yeah,
into the postseason. I think that he still has the ability to do so, even with his age. He's not regressing at all. And that team, like you said, they changed. Yes, they did, piece wise. But that team's going to be the same identity that they were, and they're going to come out and they're gonna hit you hard right away.
yeah,
That first game last year really tells me why Breeze isn't regressing because of how he came back and led that team back to that win against Houston week one. Um, and I think that with the new faces in Carolina, um, along with the questions about Atlanta and the new identity now for the Buccaneers, I think the Saints are in the best position in the division to take control, just because they've had the same pieces. They've had, they didn't lose anything substantially, I should say, that would make me believe that they're not going to finish well this season or not make the playoffs, especially compared to the rest of the division. Now, I'm not saying that the rest of the division isn't going to be competitive and isn't going to be there, because they will, but
Yeah.
they're the Saints. I think New Orleans has the most comfortable, I guess, togetherness or as a team in the last couple of years that leads me to believe that they will be successful again this year with Breeze behind center.
Yeah, they have that long time established identity. Like, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, the cornerstones of that franchise, have been there for a long time, and you don't see a huge drop off in their production. Still getting it going. Drew Brees, I've heard the biggest knock on Drew Brees that I've heard is a lack of arm strength or deep ball that he used to have. That's fine, but he is still damn good and accurate and a leader and everything you want from a veteran quarterback. And on top of that, they bring in a guy that could be a pretty damn good backup quarterback if need be, and Jameis Winston, who led the NFL in passing yards last year. You take a guy that led the league in passing. I know turnovers are an issue, but touchdowns are there. And you put him with Sean Payton if need be, if Winston does need to step in at some point. I feel fully more confident in Winston now than I've ever felt in his career with Sean Payton.
Yeah, especially being able to come off the bench and see and learn. He's going to learn a lot. He's learn, like you mentioned with the turnovers being an issue, but that's something that he can take away from, watching Breeze and keep that, continuing to be such a threat, passing yards, touchdowns, lower the turnovers now with Sean Payton, being able to go in there and piece it out through each, not necessarily play by play, but through each possession maybe, where he can see the differences of what Breeze is doing and what he'll need to do if he needs to step up this year or be next year, whatever the case may be with the situation. But I agree with you. I feel more comfortable with Winston in his career now than I have before, especially because he, is very unpredictable, I should say, as whether he was going to score on you or allow you to score on them. Yeah. So I think he threw quite a few pick sixes.
He did.
And then something that he needs to learn from, and I think, like you said, with Sean Payton there, that's something that he can do that's going to help him the most now at this point in his career.
I think, what was it someone said? There's a stat where it's like Jameis Winston threw more touchdown passes for the Saints last year than Taysom Hill did. Something like that. Of the pick sixes or whatever.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
But I agree. And I think that Winston, if he can change his approach mentally, will do a lot. Because I think he's been too caught up in trying to be the man and trying to lead the league in touchdowns and trying to carry a franchise on his shoulders rather than just taking what the defense gives him, protecting the football. Everyone knows he's got a very talented arm. It's just about managing the risk and protecting the football. And so if this could be a very good learning experience for him to learn when to pick and choose his battles, take care of the ball, and still use his arm talent to move the ball down the field.
I agree.
So, yeah, we'll see. But it's a great opportunity for him. Good opportunity for the Saints. I mean, it's kind of discouraging when being a Bears fan, you looking at, we're not announcing who our starting quarterback is. We got two quarterbacks on the roster. We don't know which one's good, which one's not. Meanwhile, the Saints have Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill. These guys that they find ways to be successful in every, and I'm tired of it. So
I don't blame you, man. They can throw any of those guys in there. It seems like can be successful. Whereas I see what you're saying with the Bears.
Well, and
Uh,
that's my biggest gripe is like Sean Payton finds ways to win with whoever he's got.
yeah,
And that's what I want out of Nagy. I want to see the adjustments and see the playing to players' strengths. So the big news for the Saints recently, the last couple of days, is Alvin Kamara holding out of training camp since Friday. His absence is believed to be contract related, and reports came out that the Saints might have interest in trading him. The Saints recently said that they're not looking to trade him. They're working on a contract extension and hope to get it done before week 1. But Sean Payton also did not rule out the possibility of something happening if they don't get a deal done by week 1. Huge, implications here with Alvin Kamara. What do you think happens here? Do you think they get a deal done? And I mean, how big of a loss would it be for the Saints to lose Kamara?
I can say that there's a lot of unhappy fantasy football owners right now. I
Yeah.
know. I pushed my league back to this Sunday.
There you go. That's a smart play.
But that was right before the Kamara thing. So, yeah, that I think it's a huge part of their identity, too. Now, Kamara, not that they weren't successful before without him, because like we said, they've been long-term there in New Orleans. But Kamara brings a lot to your offense. Defenses do not want to have to take care of. I like him as a utility player anywhere on the field.
Yes.
Just at running back because, he's versatile. He's able to pick you apart wherever he's at. Whether he catches the ball out in the open, it's if he's taking it on a handoff, if it doesn't matter. He's an athlete, and it's something I think that the Saints, if they do want to get back to where they were, and they want to compete with, who we're going to talk about next here, then that's a piece that they need to get a deal done, and they need to get that deal done now if they don't want to, because we saw the issues that happened in Pittsburgh with Le'Veon Bell. And that's something that can be it doesn't just have an effect on your offense or at that position. It has an effect on your whole team. So you got to get that deal done, knowing, other players knowing that the staff doesn't want to work with doesn't want to work with somebody that they're going out there every day with. It makes you think, what are they going to think about me when it's my turn to come up for a contract? What's going to happen, when it's my turn to be moved, this and that. So it can raise a lot of questions. Cause some anxiety issues throughout your team and in the locker room. So I think that if they want to be successful and they want to be where they're at and stay where they've been, they need to get that deal done now.
Yeah, and it's got to come with both sides. Both sides need to come in agreement because from what I had heard, Alvin Kamara's first starting off point for a new deal, he was talking about Christian McCaffrey money, and that's just not going to happen. He doesn't have the same amount of impact or same amount of touches that Christian McCaffrey does. McCaffrey is such a huge load of the offense in Carolina. And Alvin Kamara is surrounded by talent. Breeze, Hill, Michael Thomas, all these guys, Emmanuel Sanders now. So they've got options to spread the ball around. And from what I was listening to Pro Football Talk, Mike Flory and those guys, and they were saying, Kamara needs to understand that if he takes a little less money now and a little less wear and tear on his body now, he'll make up for it in the long run if he stays healthier and keeps getting paydays rather than Christian McCaffrey, who might get burned out quicker with all that workload. So hopefully for the Saints, they can get a deal done before week 1 and have him on the field, when it comes time to playing this big game where is that at here? Saints Bucks, right, to start the year.
Is it? Yeah, week 1.
Saints Bucks Sunday afternoon in New Orleans. So, you want Kamara for that game. That's a big game. So
yeah, you're gonna need him.
What else here? So players to watch. I mean, young wide receivers Traquan Smith and Lil Jordan Humphrey. Their progress and continued development is going to be huge for Breeze and the quarterbacks. Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders are going to be the 1 and 2, but you want those guys to step up as well. Good young talents. And then how they use quarterbacks. Taysom Hill, does Winston get on the field at all? I do like the addition of Ty Montgomery. If Kamara does need to miss some time, at least they have Ty Montgomery and Alvin Kamara or Latavius Murray back there.
Right.
So those are decent pieces.
Yeah, they've got pieces everywhere.
They
I just
do.
think Kamara's the one that, he's an X factor for you.
Who's that?
I think just Kamara's an X factor.
Oh, he is. Like you said, he's an athlete. He's a weapon. Forget running back, wide receiver, whatever. He's a weapon that if you get the ball in his hands, he can make big plays and take it to the house potentially.
Right.
So what's your prediction on the Saints? You just said it. They're loaded with talent. No reason for them to really take a big step back. But the division may be tougher. At least they have a tougher top rival in Tampa Bay trying to steal the division championship from them. How do you think they handle Tampa Bay? And do you think they repeat do you think they win the NFC South again?
I think the Saints come off as 2020 NFC South champions.
All right.
Sorry, Bucs fans.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't see why the Saints should step back. I have them at 12-4.
Okay.
In the 10 to 12, maybe 13 win range. 13-3 is hard to say for anybody.
Especially playing the Bucs twice a year.
Right. I think that they win that first one at home.
I do too.
Just because they know who they are, and that's going to be tough for the Buccaneers to come out and win that one on the road.
Yeah.
But later on, it's Brady. So it's
Brady, Gronk, Fournette now. I mean,
it's,
Godwin.
They gotta be ready.
Yeah.
It's not saying that the Bucs won't be ready week 1, but I think the Saints are gonna be a little more ready. Kamara, I think everything's gonna be there. They're gonna have that contract done. 12-4 doesn't seem too out there. I think that the Saints are going to repeat as champs in that division, and they're going to come out on top with 11-12 wins.
And don't forget, this is the first year that a 2 seed doesn't get a bye in the playoffs, only the 1 seed. So
right.
The teams are going to be more aggressive trying to get that best record.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I am slightly less than you on the Saints. Just slightly though. My prediction is 10-6, in the 9 to 12 win range. I base it on a tougher division, and then just I think that Breeze and the Saints, they are a little bit vulnerable. They are beatable. They are a damn good team and a great culture and all that. But there's games last year that they could have lost, like the Texans game and others that were right there. They, were able to find a way to win. So, it's hard to win 13 every year. It's, they could easily go 10-6, but their ceiling is right there in that 12 to 13 win range. I don't see them going any worse than 9-7 unless catastrophe at the quarterback position or something like that. But I'm not trying to wish ill on the Saints. So I got them in that 10-6, 11-5, and but they should make the playoffs and be in a position to contend. If they can get some playoff wins, who knows?
Absolutely.
So sounds good. Can't wait for the start of the season, week 1, Bucs Saints. That's must-watch TV. And I can't wait. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thanks for coming on, Bret.
Thank you.
Great insight as always. Thanks for checking out the episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Have a great week, guys. Peace out.